Welcome back. Today we are going to talk about the CRKT Berserker. Let's take a look at this thing. I'll give you the breakdown on it, and I will give you my thoughts, pros and cons, and opinion. The Berserker is a tomahawk style axe made from a high carbon steel. It is a Viking design, a Viking inspired design. Handle on this is 19 inches long. The total weight on this is 2 pounds, 2 ounces, just a hair under 2 pounds, 2 ounces. The head is 7 inches long from the edge of the blade to the butt end here. The blade is 4 5/8 inch of cutting surface, and it's got this very small hammer sort of surface on the back. Blade has this large cutout underneath, which allows you to get your hand on the handle right up behind the blade. The bottom edge here is sort of a false edge. It's not really sharp, but it's kind of got a bit of a profile to it. So overall, this is a pretty solid, heavy axe. So let's go through the pros and cons. The first pro is that this is very cool. It's a lot of fun to play with. The next pro is that this chops really well. It's got a lot of blade here. It's heavy, so it's not as easy to chop with as some other axes, but when you're chopping with it, it chops very well. But now let's talk about a couple of cons. The main one is that it's heavy. If it's just weight distribution, if it's because it's all in the blade, I don't know what the deal is, but it feels very heavy. When I was chopping with it, it felt awkward because the head and the blade felt too big for the handle. It just felt like I should be able to chop a lot better, but it just felt too heavy and too big for this handle. One of the great things about tomahawks is that the handle is really easy to remove. So I went to a hardware store and I picked up a handle. This is a sledgehammer handle. I cut off the top 3 or 4 inches that were split where it would go into the head of a sledgehammer. And it turns out this is almost the exact dimensions as this handle. So it didn't really take a lot of work to make this fit. You just tap this handle out, slide this handle in, and now instead of a 19-inch handle, I have a 26-inch handle. And with that big old long handle on there, this thing really chops well. It splits pretty well too. It's pretty crazy what a difference that made. The other con is mostly that this really isn't a super useful tool. Aside from chopping really well, there's not a lot of other uses for it. This little hammer surface on the back doesn't really work as a hammer. It's very small and it's at an angle, so it's very difficult to hammer anything with. The Berserker is a really cool axe. It's cool looking, chops very well. If you put that longer handle on it, it chops really well, but mostly it's just cool looking. If you want a really cool axe for your Viking LARP sessions, this is a great one. If you're looking for a camping or survival or bushcraft or whatever type axe, tomahawk, this is probably not it. This is a bit heavy and doesn't have as much versatility as some other options. I actually kind of like the long handle on this thing better. Probably just going to leave the long handle on it. That's all I've got for you today. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think about the CRKT Berserker. Give me your opinions on it. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.